What's up guys, Jack here, and today's video is going to be about Redbubble and print on demand and the things that you need to remember when your sales are slow. So this is going to be more of a motivational video, an inspirational video, but I'm also going to be supplying some tips and just things to keep in mind when your sales are slow, especially because it is the month of January and a lot of people's sales are slow. I want you guys to remember these things and keep these in your head as you're progressing in your print on demand business. But before we get right into the video and all the good stuff, let's talk about how hard you need to smash the like button to access the future content in this video. And if you smash the like button right now, you can proceed. Okay, you're done, let's go. Alright, so the first thing I want you guys to remember when you are doing your print on demand business or Redbubble and your sales are slow is remember that print on demand is a 365 day a year cycle. So basically you make sales on the work that you do one day 365 days a year. So work that you do once is basically represented in terms of sales 365 days a year, and not just for 1 year, for maybe 2 years, 3 years. So every time you make a design, remember that your print on demand business is not just the next day or the next week. It is the next, basically forever, depending on what type of niche you're in, evergreen or a trending niche. But the work you're doing once is basically putting on the marketplace, and it's going to be able to sell for the foreseeable future. This is incredibly important to remember, especially when your sales are slow with Redbubble, because when your sales are slow, I know it can be tough to actually make more designs because you might think, oh, what I'm doing is not working, or what I'm doing isn't enough, so I'm just going to stop, this isn't working. But really you should be looking on what is working. So the parts that are working, if you're making any sales, look at that. What's making sales? Double down on that. That's what I always say. Go with what's working, and you can actually double down on what's working. Do more designs like that and double dip your profits. If you see there's an audience, no competition in a niche you've tested, then go in again. And if you haven't found any success in any niches, then try out some more niches. Try to mix up your design approach, mix up something, and look at what other people are doing that are successful, and then take after them and do similar things that they are doing. So the first thing that I really want you to remember, basically what I just said, is that you need to think of your print on demand business as like an actual business. The things you're doing now are going to benefit you in the future, so you need to look at that when you're doing your work and you're making your designs or you're doing whatever to improve your print on demand shops, that these are basically efforts that are going towards your foreseeable future. Not just tomorrow, not just the next day, but many, many, many days after that. So when you think like that, it's a lot easier to basically push through slow sales. And if you're having slow sales, you can improve even further and make sure next year when January comes around, your sales are going to be like way higher than they are right now. They're going to be like your Q4 sales from the previous year. You can kind of scale your print on demand business the more you go, because this is a basically passive income source. The more you scale your print on demand business, the more money you're going to make. And usually you can't do that. Usually you're trading your time for money directly in a job, but something like print on demand, a business, you're not really trading your time for money. You're trading your time as an investment into your business to grow it and scale it, and you're adding to it, right? So the things you're doing now are not just basically paying you for 1 hour work. You're getting paid over and over again to see your business succeed. So you need to remember that when you're in your print on demand business, and especially when you're seeing slow sales. That is so important for basically motivation for yourself to keep making more designs and improving your business. Another really important thing to remember in print on demand, and Redbubble especially, is that Redbubble basically is a free organic traffic website. So a lot of Redbubble's traffic not only comes from paid ads, retargeting, all free on Redbubble's behalf. Obviously they do charge that and they do take part of the cut of the sale, but it's all free, right? And something that also comes with Redbubble quite often is organic ranking on Google. Redbubble does rank really well on organically on Google. So when you have a listing and you have it up for like, a week or two, there's a good chance you might not get as much traffic as you potentially can, because when Google searches come in and when your designs start ranking for Google searches and ranking on Google or ranking somewhere similar, ranking even higher on Redbubble search, they're gonna get more sales. And this happens over time. Things take time, and basically your listings need to build up some history, credibility, favorites, everything like that. And the higher amount of favorites, the longer they've been up, the better chances you're going to have of getting on the first page of Redbubble and getting featured on the Google searches or on like the images section. So that's also something to consider, is give your designs time to grow organically, especially when your print-on-demand business is completely reliant on organic traffic and you're not directly putting ads in the mix yourself. Basically, all these platforms are doing the work for you. You need to remember that time does actually work on your side, because the more time you give your listings and the more time you give your designs, the more chances they have to get in front of the right people. And eventually, once like one design sells, that design can kind of snowball off. It doesn't always snowball off as much as you would like, but the second a design sells or gets a favorite or something like that, even if it's not on Redbubble, the chances of it selling again go up dramatically, because there's some history behind it. It's made a sale before. It's gonna rank higher on Google. It's gonna rank higher on that platform, and it's gonna basically attract more buyers and get more eyes to it because it's already made a sale or it already has some history behind it. And the longer your design is up, the more chances of that happening. This is a really good reason on why I really like Redbubble and TeePublic and Merch by Amazon, because those three platforms, you don't have to pay a cent to post your designs and keep them up basically forever. Merch by Amazon does take them down after, I believe, a year if they don't make a sale, but that's not a big deal. At least it gives them a lot of time. That gives them a lot of leeway, so you don't have to worry about it too much, and you can always repost those designs. But those are free platforms where you can post your design, forget about it, and if it doesn't make a sale, it doesn't really matter that much. The amount of time you put into that design probably wasn't a crazy amount. And if it was, then maybe you need to cut down your design times a bit, or maybe you need to retarget your research. But the time and money spent wasn't the key factor, right? The amount of money you spent to make the design probably was very little, if any, because you're doing it yourself. You're not paying someone else to do everything for you, and you can pay people to outsource your designs, but chances are if you're doing that, you're going to want to have a lot of research behind your designs. If you're new to print on demand and you make some designs that don't sell, it's okay. You're learning, and you can then don't have to worry about, because you're using Redbubble and TeePublic and Merch by Amazon, you don't have to worry about listing fees or anything like that. And then if you have an Etsy shop, which is pretty crazy, you can basically take the winning designs on Redbubble and TeePublic and post them over to Etsy for 20 cents a piece, right? And at this point, you know these designs will sell. You know that there's research of people buying these things, and that's like another way you can utilize different platforms to another. And I know it's kind of off track of the motivational section of this video, but it really does get me excited to know that when you see success on one design on one platform, you can transfer that to other platforms. So I just want to keep that in mind and make sure you guys remember that. And yeah, really, I just want to make this video again to keep you guys on track, keep you guys motivated, making sure your January is not getting you too far down and doesn't bring you down right into the mud to stop designing. I definitely want you guys to keep going in your print-on-demand businesses. And the main purpose of this video was to help you guys with that, to keep you guys on track, to keep you guys making designs, because I don't know about you, but January has actually motivated me quite a bit. Even though it's been a bit slower, there has been some sales recently, it has been picking back up, and I want you guys to have the same amount of drive that I do right now. Even though sales were slower in January, I'm anticipating for next December, right? So this December was actually really good, even though I just got into print-on-demand recently. Next December is going to be even crazier, because all of this work that I'm doing now is going to pay off even more in the next Q4 that comes up in a year from now. And all throughout the year, I'm going to be making sales and building up that history like I was talking about. So once you build up that history and you get to Q4 on your listings, it's even crazier. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I really want you guys to keep that in mind. 365 days a year, your designs can sell. So keep that in mind. And with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. If you made it to this point in the video, please comment down below. Motivate, right? Motivate, you know. I think that's a pretty good word for this video. This is a very motivational, inspirational type of video, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash the like button if you did. And with all that being said, it's been your friend Jack, and I'll see you guys in the next video.